for this month, December. Indeed, 100, if not 150.
Individual investors have really piled into the Bitcoin ETFs.
It's all-time high after all-time high after all-time high. It's very clustered. So maybe 6 to 12 months of real bull market action. Bitcoin should be in a well-balanced portfolio. It has a place in a well-balanced institutional portfolio. That was unheard of a couple of years ago. Right now, I mean, the BlackRocks and the Fidelities are talking about it, and it's logical with all the action we see on the MicroStrategy, treasury kind of things, and with Trump and National Reserve talks, big investors, ETFs. Yeah, to be honest, I would be surprised if we're not ending somewhere near 251 million.
Anonymous Bitcoin analyst Plan B is confident that Bitcoin is in the midst of a bull market and says a big move is coming. Predicting a major surge, he believes that rising investor activity and decreasing Bitcoin balances on exchanges are signaling a shift towards a huge price movement. Bitcoin's price has been steadily climbing in 2024, up 124% year to date, currently sitting just over $99,100. The well-known Bitcoin analyst behind the stock-to-flow model remains bullish after major events such as the approval of the spot Bitcoin ETFs and the historic price movements following the Bitcoin halving, right before a massive bull run. According to Plan B, Bitcoin is now in the phase of the market cycle, which precedes explosive price movements. Plan B expects the coming months to be critical for those watching Bitcoin closely, as price pumps combined with sharp corrections will bring massive gains heading into 2025. As institutional adoption grows, we can expect even higher highs. As Plan B points out, we're even closer to the next all-time high in 2024.
I have no crystal ball, but still I was very happy with the 70K we got back then,
Yes.
right? Coming from, what was it, 4K, 1K, when probably there will be ranges like 100K, 1 million. That's a wide range, obviously, but I still think that range is, we can narrow it down a little bit. I've done that before on Twitter. So I'm thinking 250, 1 million is where I expect it to be on average, right? That's not the all-time high or anything. That's the next level that Bitcoin will rotate to with all the action we see on the MicroStrategy, treasury kind of things, and with Trump and National Reserve talks, big investors, ETFs. To be honest, I would be surprised if we're not ending somewhere near 251 million. I mean, if we really go to, say, 500K Bitcoin, that would be a 10 trillion market cap, up from today's 2 trillion market cap. So that needs some capital, some flowing from either real estate or stocks or bonds or gold towards Bitcoin. And yeah, I think that's what we're seeing right now, that Bitcoin should be in a well-balanced portfolio. It has a place in a well-balanced institutional portfolio. That was unheard of a couple of years ago. Right now, I mean, the BlackRocks and the Fidelities are talking about it like it's, always has been like that. And it's logical. So no, I think those events play into the enormous jump in price level that we all expect. And it's I mean, in that case, and I'm thinking about my third article that I once wrote about the stock to flow X model, which is of course a very broad model, but it was comparing Bitcoin with gold and real estate, and it was talking about stages, like or phases actually. So the beginning Bitcoin was just a proof of concept, a nerd toy. Then it went to a transactional thing. It broke $1 for 1 Bitcoin. It was wow, this thing has some worth. We can use it for paying cups of coffee. And then we got the idea of digital gold, and now we're entering a phase where it's an institutional asset, where BlackRock, Fidelity, and even national states are thinking about investing in it. So no, it's really a next chapter, and a new price level, a higher price level, goes with that next chapter. I think we will
Right.
see an 80%. You knew that.
So a
right?
million back to 200,000, and we're depressed. Great.
Yeah. Oh, Bitcoin crashed to 200,000. We're gonna laugh at that tweet one day.
Plan B posted his latest predictions and what he expects Bitcoin's price movement to be based on market conditions. In December, a massive ETF inflow will bring BTC to $150,000. From January through July, he predicts that we'll see a chain of events that will bring its price from 200,000, climbing all the way through 2025, hitting 500,000, and even a scenario where Bitcoin hits $1 million by the end of next year.
Yeah, it's like that. I think it will be like that, and because everybody's talking about the super cycle, but really institutional investors are also humans. They also have greed and fear, and it's not like the stock market didn't have any crashes, right? In 2008, and even with institutional investors, you have crashes. So no, I don't think that changes anything at all.
Are you surprised that we haven't seen more institutional adoption and more nation state adoption yet, considering it's been now over 4 years, I believe, since MicroStrategy first bought Bitcoin? Obviously, the accounting rules were not particularly friendly at that time. But now that, a company can put Bitcoin on its balance sheet without unfavorable accounting rules, and nations like El Salvador have done exceptionally well, do you think that we're going to see a lot more of that quickly, or do you think those things just take time?
I thought we would see it much faster, and obviously there was a lot of inertia in the market, a lot of lagging.
The Global Strategic Reserve, the United States, should buy all that Bitcoin before announcing that they've bought all that Bitcoin, or they're just going to raise the price by double before they get the chance.
And I'm quite sure they do that. They're just doing it under the radar, and they keep doing it as long as possible.
Yeah, and so
that's what I would do.
Do you think that will happen?
I don't know how the political system really works. If Trump can really decide that, or he needs the Senate and the Congress, of course, and how those numbers are. But yeah, I think he has enough to do it, and I think the money you need for it is small enough to do it. It's like nothing.
If the United States puts Bitcoin officially on the balance sheet, doesn't every country in the world effectively have to?
Well, the US has one big advantage, and that's it can just print the dollars, right? It doesn't need real dollars. Just print the dollars, buy the Bitcoin, and be over with it. Well, the good news is that the other side, the investment world, is very quick, very fast in interpreting what the new route will be. So, for example, in Argentina, with Milei, he does sort of the same thing, right? He fires department after department in the government, in the administration, and investors have a trust in him. So the inflation stopped, the economy is growing, and pretty fast, I should say. I think he's only 3 or 6 months at the job, and he already succeeded in making all those numbers better.
Amazing.
And I think that will be the same.
And people thought that it would collapse everything. But it's one of those situations, if you have like 10,000% inflation or whatever it was, I don't know if that's the number.
Maybe.
Well, what's your risk of trying?
Yeah, exactly. It is a big mess now, and it for sure will be a big mess if you fix it. But there is light at the end of the tunnel. And I think that's what investors will support and see and trust.
In recent news, we also saw the head of BlackRock's digital assets seeing Bitcoin as risk-off, as more institutional investors are adopting crypto as an emerging global money alternative. Even though Bitcoin has been highly correlated as of late with the price moves of US equities, the BlackRock Incorporated head of digital assets says it's inaccurate to call the cryptocurrency a risk-on asset. He said when we think about Bitcoin, we think about it primarily as an emerging global monetary alternative. It's a scarce, global, decentralized, non-sovereign asset, and it's an asset that's not country-specific and has no counterparty risk. BlackRock runs exchange-traded funds, investing in Bitcoin and Ether. But while many investors view Bitcoin as digital gold, something that holds value at times of stress, the narrative for Ether among many institutional clients is a little less clear. Bitcoin is up 49% so far this year, and Ether has appreciated 15%, largely thanks to the approval of ETFs holding both tokens earlier this year. Bitcoin maximalist and MicroStrategy co-founder Michael Saylor supported the recent statement made by BlackRock about Bitcoin that made ripples across the cryptocurrency community yesterday. Saylor echoed the sentiment of retail investors getting into Bitcoin with its high volatility and the prospect of its further use in the future. This is one of his several bullish statements on the world's flagship cryptocurrency. He believes Bitcoin is becoming particularly popular amid growing concerns about extensive money printing, fiat currency debasement, and escalating fiscal and sustainability challenges, not only in the United States, but in other countries as well. Among the key Bitcoin price drivers have been the fourth Bitcoin halving and the approval of the spot Bitcoin ETFs granted by the Securities and Exchange Commission. Last week, BlackRock also gained the approval of its Bitcoin options from the SEC, a milestone largely celebrated by the cryptocurrency community. Plan B's prediction remains bullish, as he believes that by April of 2025, the US could start constructing a strategic Bitcoin reserve. This could easily push Bitcoin to $400,000. Within the next 5 months, there's likely going to be a worldwide race among countries to accumulate Bitcoin, excluding the European Union, which he says will push the price to $500,000. Another factor in this case is the incorporation of artificial intelligence in the use of Bitcoin in financial markets. According to his prediction, the price of Bitcoin is expected to surge to $600,000 by June of 2025 through the use of AI systems to regulate conventional financial markets using Bitcoin. By the end of 2025, the FOMO effect among investors is expected to take Bitcoin to its highest price of $1 million. However, this rapid growth is not expected to be sustained in the future. A distribution phase in 2026 could again take Bitcoin to $500,000 and a bear market in 2027, with Bitcoin's price going as low as $200,000. What do you think about Plan B's prediction for Bitcoin? Comment down below. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more content just like this. We'll see you in the next video.